How are we doing? Welcome back to the channel. I get asked constantly about what apps I use, what apps I think are useful, and what do I think the best apps are for when you're out in the truck. So I've put together this little video to help you out, let you know what apps I use when I'm out on the road in the truck. So here we have my phone and the apps that I use. I'm going to break them down into two sections. So we've got the apps here that I use, and then we've got the entertainment apps that I use. So going back to these apps, these are the ones that I use, information apps. So the first one at the top we have is the Garmin one, which connects to my sat nav that I done a review on. So if you haven't seen that, I'll put a link at the top. Then we have my cam viewer app, which connects to my Nextbase dash cam, so I can download the footage straight to my phone. I've got a review on that, and I will link to that as well. Then we got the basic flashlight, which I use, which is built into the phone, comes as standard. Then we have Waze. Waze I use quite a lot. I usually run Waze on my tablet, and what Waze does, if you don't know, is it is a navigation app, but it's not recommended to use it as a navigation app when you're in a truck. It's more to use as an add-on for information. Now what it will do is it will give you really good traffic reports. It'll inform you of vehicles that are stopped on hard shoulders, it'll inform you of accidents, it'll inform you of police stopped on the side of the motorway. There's lots and lots. Any adverse weather. What it is, it's a community-based website, so what people do is they report things, so you pretty much get information as it's happening. So I usually have this running on a tablet, in a holder, within view, so that I can see any of the alerts that is flashing up. Now the navigation is really good if you're in a car or a van or anything that you're not going to be trying to avoid low bridges and weight restrictions. So I don't recommend it for actually navigating, but for the alerts it's really, really good. So that is Waze. The other app that I use is HTV Parking, and what this will do is show all the parking near where you are. If you do a search, my phone's on airplane mode, so I don't know if I'll be able to see it, but no, I won't be able to see it. But it shows you where all the parking is near to you. You can click on each one and it will give you a postcode, and it will tell you how many spaces there are, a review, any amenities that are nearby. So that's a really handy app, and there's so many. Even if it's just a lay-by, you're trying to find the nearest lay-by, they're usually on here. Okay, so the next app is Truck Buddy. Now this does have a driving counter, so you can measure your times, but I don't use that because I've got a separate app for that. But what it does do is it gives you nearest services, where you want a food and drink, and it also does live traffic reports, which I use, which is quite handy. So whenever I stop for a break, I'll have a quick look through here, because it gives you the closest traffic reports to you, and just see if there's anything nearby that's going to cause me any issues. So that's another useful app. Then I have just a standard Google Maps, which is handy for using the satellite view and checking out entrances and exits to new places and things like that. I have a unit converter, which is handy just for converting heights and weights. Now this is the last app that I use in this section, and this is Taco Guard. Now I use it all the time. It's always running when I'm in the truck. I find it better than Trucker Timer. and a lot of the others that I've tried, but I don't think this one is available on iOS. I think this is Android only, so if you use iOS then you'll have to use Trucker Timer. That's the next best one. But if you haven't seen or heard about this one, then I have a review on this also, and I shall pop it at the top. So now we go on to the other section that I use, which is my entertainment section. This is what I use whilst I'm out and about, either on the road whilst I'm driving or whilst I'm stopped. Now I use Prime Video because I'm a Prime user. I got TV Catch Up, which plays live TV. Obviously I don't use that whilst I'm driving. All 4, ITV Hub, BBC iPlayer, and then I have TuneIn Radio, which is another one that I use whilst I'm driving if there's nothing that I want to listen to on the radio. And this has got every radio station on it you can think of, and you can save them all as your favourites. Really good app, that one. The other one that I use is Audible, which is audiobooks. These are really handy for listening to whilst you're driving. You've got plenty of time on your hands whilst you're out there on the road, so it's the ideal time to try and learn something, learn a new skill, new language, anything like that. There's hundreds of thousands of books. It can be quite expensive, but it's ideal for passing the time. Like I say, if you want to learn a new skill or you just fancy a good story. The other one is the podcast, which is just all the podcasts you can think of, really. Loads and loads on there, loads you can think of, anything you can think of is on there. But yeah, that's a really good app. I can't actually remember what that's called. I can't remember if it's just podcasts. Yeah, it's just called podcasts. So yeah, that's the entertainment apps that I use. So there we go. There's not a massive amount there, and there might not be anything there that you don't already know, but I quite often get asked what I use, so that's what I use. I hope you found it helpful. Anything that I can find for links on the internet or anything like that, I'll put it all in the description. I'll put a list of the apps that I use all down in the description, so you can find whatever you want. So yeah, that's all I've got to add, really. Don't forget that if you enjoyed this video, to subscribe for plenty more videos just like it, and I will see you again soon. Cheers!